we have Ember Moon on the attack.
Handstand.
Wow, fantastic ability from Ember.
And Ember Moon tries the early cover. No, a kick out too soon. Setting up. Oh, a knee. Lights out. Oh, what a combo. Bulldog. Skull rattling. And you know what's next, guys? They got it, they got it.
He just created a prime opportunity. Jeez, I don't like Sami Zayn's chances in this one.
The old leg toss.
Now we have Sami Zayn on the attack.
Wait a second, it appears Brooklyn wants Trey to attempt the same double team maneuver that injured Ronda Rousey.
Is she trying to prove she can do it better?
I don't know, but it looks like Trey's not quite sure about this after what happened to Ronda. Perfect execution by the American heroes. An impressive win for the new team of Trey and Brooklyn Von Braun.
I'm still not sure what to think about these two teaming. It's very strange.
It looks like Trey's still trying to get used to it as well.
I told you guys 100 times, Brooklyn's a professional. She likes winning much more than she dislikes Trey.
And here comes Trey's best friend, Red, for their mixed match challenge match.
Hey, good luck.
Well, that was awkward.
You don't want to read too much into anything, but it certainly looked like Red just ignored Trey altogether.
Well, it's obvious Red is upset about Trey teaming with Brooklyn, but she'd better get over it fast or it's going to end up costing her team this match.
As this mixed match challenge match begins, we have to consider the possibility that Red's team could end up facing Trey and Brooklyn Von Braun at some point.
Well, given what we know about Brooklyn's ability to get under Red's skin, that could definitely be a volatile situation.
You would think that since this whole thing's for charity, that everyone would be able to manage their emotions, but if Brooklyn triggers hothead Red, all bets are off.
Not looking good right now.
This is the kind of action you get in a mixed tag match, working together. Double suplex.
That's gotta be it.
Still seems a little early.
Look at this raw power.
Sit out powerbomb. He is not going to go down without a fight, Michael.
Corey, there really seems to be such a calm, cool, collected feeling about Aleister Black. It's almost as if he's void of all emotion.
Yeah, it's actually a little disturbing, Cole. I don't think I've ever seen anybody hold such total composure throughout a match, regardless of the circumstances.
Sit out pile
pile driver.
He's taking some good hits.
Reflecting more on Aleister Black's ability, that puts this mixed tag match in the books.
As this mixed match challenge match begins, we have to consider the possibility that Red's team could end up facing Trey and Brooklyn Von Braun at some point.
Well, given what we know about Brooklyn's ability to get under Red's skin, that could definitely be a volatile situation.
You would think that since this whole thing's for charity, that everyone would be able to manage their emotions, but if Brooklyn triggers hothead Red...
Wow, she turned that one around.
An impressive series of moves.
Looks like nobody's budging, Cole.
Break you in half. Not looking good for Ruby Riott here. Ruby Riott with the reversal.
And Drew McIntyre just tagged himself in. Red didn't like that.
After some miscommunication on the tag, it appears Red and Drew McIntyre are having a minor disagreement.
This looks like it might be more than a minor disagreement. McIntyre is walking out and leaving Red to fight on her own.
Is anyone really surprised? This is what happens when two people who despise each other try to form a team.
At least Aleister Black isn't going to take advantage of this situation, as it looks like he's resigned to this essentially turning into a one-on-one match. Ruby Riott looking to unleash her particular brand of destruction tonight. Ruby's love of chaos makes her so dangerous with or without a squad behind her.
And with the women's division as white hot as it is right now, you just know this match is going to be one for the ages.
Oh, wow. Narrowly avoiding trouble.
Yeah, that could have been bad. Just relentless.
When you see Ruby Riott, you know that Sarah Logan and Liv Morgan are close by, just waiting to strike. And that is something that every competitor in the women's division must combat against.
I don't like what you're insinuating, Cole. Ruby knows that when you're dealing with privileged people, the odds are often in their favor. Logan and Morgan even the score and pay immediate dividends.
Ruby Riott finds herself in a tough spot.
She may have underestimated the opposition she'd face tonight.
Scoop slam! She's been on the offensive for a little while now.
She's taken command of the situation.
I'd like to elaborate on my point about Ruby Riot's expertise in playing the numbers game, gentlemen. The result is the Riot Squad is running roughshod over the entire women's division.
Well, we know that these unprovoked, often blindsided attacks are just going to continue, Michael. I don't know if there's anyone who can put an end to the Riot Squad's brutality and chaos.
Oh, my God.
Hoisted up. Down and out. And it's Ruby Riot with the reversal.
Wicked body shot.
A backbreaker now. I see where she's going with this.
How did Ruby Riot turn that one around?
She's got to remember to get back in the ring before the referee's 10 count.
Oh, she turns it around.
Fist drop.
Enziguri. Oof, ruthless striking. Oh, look at this incredible power.
Government suplex.
Combination.
Not done yet.
Another?
Man, you're observant, Byron. Best analyst in the game.
How about one more?
Bringing it back into the ring.
Down with a neck breaker.
She's looking at it early. She's got the ropes, and the pin is broken.
Whoa, not so fast.
A backbreaker now.
Whoa.
Kick.
Beautiful.
Connected on that. Boom, boom, persistent barrage. Ruby Riot turns it around. Oh, look at this roll up. She's feeling the hurt here.
She still has a lot of time to recover, though.
And it's reversed.
Paying for that mistake.
She's got something in mind.
Hooked up. Here we go.
This is how people end up getting hurt.
Down with a power bomb. That's lights out. You could count to 100.
How is Ruby Riot
For the victory here.
1, 2, 3.
Whether you like it or not, there's the match right there.
Here is your winner, Mrs. Z-Babe.
A very impressive victory.
That'll knock Ruby Riott down a peg or two.
It'll be interesting to see the fallout following this big singles win here tonight.
After a couple more wins for both our teams, Trey and I would be in a position we'd never been in before, standing across the ring from each other as opponents in the finals of the Mixed Match Challenge.
Good luck tonight. Seriously.
Yeah, you too.
Do you mean that? Because it seems like you can't bring yourself to say the actual words.
I can totally say it, but now that you told me to, it won't mean as much.
Come on, just say it. Good luck.
Hey, look. It's your partner.
How convenient.
You're talking to the opposition before our match? You do realize I could give them a competitive advantage.
My team doesn't need an advantage to beat someone who's had less than 5 matches.
I'm pretty sure I had less than 5 matches when I was tapping you out in high school, and tonight will be exactly the same. Except this time, a whole lot more people will see me embarrass you. Come on, we need to discuss what we're going to do with our prize money after we win. I was thinking we'd donate it to victims of identity heft. It's when people identify as skinny, but they're actually really fat. I think Red might have it.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Introducing first, from St. Louis, Missouri, weighing in at 450 pounds, the WWE Champion, Z-Daddy.
Given the participants, this match might very well steal the show, guys.
Yeah, and I think you could go so far as to say it has the makings of a Match of the Year candidate.
Look at the champ's face, guys. I don't remember the last time I saw him focused like this.
And don't forget, this is a non-title match, so the fact that he's this focused right now really tells me something about his mindset.
Brooklyn Von Braun is here to destroy anything in her path.
And from Fulton, New York, the American hero, Brooklyn Von Braun.
While a list of career goals motivates her rival, Red, Brooklyn Von Braun seems driven to destroy anything positive in Red's life.
I agree. She almost seems obsessed with making Red's life miserable.
Drew McIntyre is ready for a fight.
And from Ayr, Scotland, weighing in at 254 pounds, Drew McIntyre.
This match is going to be a display of Drew's brutality.
That seems to be the story for all of Drew's matches.
That's just the Scottish psychopath's true nature, Cole. A tiger can't change his stripes.
Has the Tiger tried therapy?
Byron, this man is just hungry.
It's proven in his actions, and Drew McIntyre has made it his mantra to eradicate complacency from WWE by any means necessary.
And from New York, Mrs. Z-Babe.
This is it. This is the match we've all been waiting for.
And the electricity level in the arena right now is unlike anything I've ever felt.
And I'd say these women definitely look ready to get this one started.
So am I, Michael. I don't think I've ever seen these women give a poor performance, and I'm willing to bet tonight will be no different.
This is it, the finals of the Mixed Match Challenge. One of these teams will take home $500,000 to donate to a charity of their choice.
Don't bury the lead, Cole. The charity part's nice, but the real story here is that best friends Red and Trey are facing each other for the first time ever. Things could get very interesting.
Normally, I think you guys were just trying to stir up drama, but Red and Trey have definitely seemed a bit off lately, and this match certainly won't help matters.
And what a reversal from Drew McIntyre.
Short clothesline hits its mark. Plenty of fight left. He showed up here tonight for a fight, and that's exactly what we are seeing.
Oh, saw it coming.
When you look at this,
It looks like they both did their homework heading into this one.
what power! Thunderous powerbomb. In off the tag. I don't think I've seen a superstar with Drew McIntyre's single-minded drive to win. Even when faced with his release in 2014, McIntyre said he'd be back, and that's exactly what happened.
And a lesser man would have felt sorry for himself and blamed others, but Drew traveled the globe and honed his devastating craft. Proving tough to catch.
And now that one's countered.
Following up on McIntyre's triumphant return to WWE, not only was he true to his word, but he came back even more ferocious a competitor than I think anyone has ever seen.
McIntyre's newfound brutality and power within WWE is truly astonishing, and quite frankly, I love it. Wicked body shot. Oh, what a nasty knee lift.
Drew McIntyre can't be enjoying this.
Thunderous power slam.
That'll slow Drew McIntyre down a bit.
Wow, look at that agility.
Big splash.
McIntyre's in trouble.
Oh, my God.
Good God.
Elbow finds its mark.
He has become relentless at this point.
His offense is second to none at times like this.
Power bomb. Oh, front thrust kick. Drew McIntyre beginning to peter out here.
What are we going to see here?
Look at the power. Boom! Choke bomb! Oh, double leg drop!
Oh, and it's McIntyre turning the tables.
Oh, clothesline! And there's the reversal from Drew McIntyre. He's looking a little dazed, guys.
And he's got nowhere to go in that corner.
Reverses. Can he make him pay? Not again.
One of these competitors is eventually going to have to gain the upper hand.
Whoa, McIntyre able to avoid damage there.
With authority. Drew McIntyre looking for the pin. And there's the kick out.
That would have been a shocker.
Tagged in.
Gore!
She's beginning to flag a little.
She returns the favor there.
Oh, nasty impact.
The switch here to Drew McIntyre. Look past the ring at the thousands and thousands of WWE fans in attendance. Each and every one of them are being entertained tonight. Big boot. Uh-oh.
Now check out this strength.
What a press.
That might just do it. Drew McIntyre really needs to dig down deep and...
He's gone to the pin. This could be it. Heading to the pay window.
What a fool. He had him dead to rights.
Whoa, McIntyre able to avoid damage there.
Oh, he knew that was coming. Clothesline!
Clear the deck, cannonball coming through.
Bench down. What a slam.
His shoulders are down. Wait, what?
Wow, that's pretty unbelievable, Cole.
He has him right where he wants him.
Now check out this strength.
What a press! That could be it. 2, 3. Wait. despite their often heated and acrimonious past, Trey and Brooklyn Von Braun have managed to win the Mixed Match Challenge.
I just hope that now that this is over, there won't be any hard feelings between Red and Trey. They've been through too much together to let something like this get between them.
Judging from the look on Red's face, I think that ship has sailed, and she doesn't seem to be taking this very well at all. I mean, why would she? Red just lost to her best friend and her worst enemy. I'd be angry too.
Hey, what's up?
What's up? What's up with you riding with her?
Relax. I offered him a ride since we're both going to the gym.
Nice necklace, by the way. Real classy.
Thanks. I'll get you my jeweler's info. I bet he can throw together a runner-up version in no time.
Look, I know we usually ride together, but I wanted to get some extra training in since Samoa Joe basically wants to strangle me to death with his crazy cyborg arm at SmackDown 1500.
I'd be happy to help you work on your submissions. After all, I had a career record of 24-2 in MMA. I left that necklace at home.
You training me is a great idea. It could help me survive Samoa Joe, and who knows, maybe even beat him.
Good. We'll get started right away. And before you say anything, I'm just looking to help. It's the only way he's going to survive the Coquina Clutch. I mean, that little reversal trick you taught him might have worked in their first match, but let's face it, he needs some real training. We'll set up a time later, partner.
So what, are you friends with her now?
No, it's not like that.
Well, it seems like that. I mean, first you're riding with her, and now you're training with her? Did you forget this is the same person who's tormented us for 20 years?
I got a ride with her one time, and besides, maybe she's changed, okay? People do that. And she was a good teammate, good enough that we won the Mixed Match Challenge.
Are you trying to rub it in? Because I think your teammate's ridiculous necklace accomplished that already. And by the way, who was in charge of handling the charity money that you won?
Brooklyn. She gave it to an animal shelter in our hometown.
Did it ever occur to you that maybe she took the $500,000 and spent it on that awful necklace and murder coat she was wearing? I bet the animal shelter doesn't even exist.
Can't assume any of that.
I'm not assuming she's a terrible person. I know that. And I thought you did too.
Come on. Red. That mural's kind of freaking me out. It feels like you're watching me from every angle.
I am. But focus here. So when Samoa Joe gets you in the Coquina Clutch this time,
How do you know he'll get me in it?
it's a submission match, which means he'll be going for it early and often, so you have to be prepared. And what I was going to say before you interrupted me...
Sorry, won't happen again.
What I was going to say is your little trick you used against him 10 years ago when you rolled backwards to get the win isn't going to work this time. He'll be ready. And even if you pulled it off, it won't do any good because this is a submission
Rivalry match. Rivalry submission match.
Right. So I'm Samoa Joe, and I'm going to put you in the Coquina Clutch. Try to escape.
Oh, I tap.
That was pathetic.
I know. How am I ever gonna beat Samoa Joe? I mean, once she cinches in that arm around my neck, it's all over. Goodbye, WWE Championship. Goodbye, Trachea. Goodbye, Earth. Hello, big ring in the sky. Hopefully.
Okay, stop. You're spiraling. It's not about his arm. It's about his legs.
Huh?
I studied hours of footage of Samoa Joe locking in the Coquina Clutch. You're welcome. And I discovered a hidden flaw that's going to allow you to counter it and beat him. Give me your phone. Voice password?
Trey and Peyton Royce forever?
Voice Voice recognition volume too low. Please try again.
Trey and Peyton Royce forever. It's a joke. Please don't tell her.
Anyway, like I said, I watched a lot of tape on Samoa Joe, and I discovered this. Watch his ankles. See how he crosses them? He does it every time. That's your opening to beat him.
I don't get it.
Of course you don't. Let me show you. Put me in the coquina clutch and make sure you cross your ankles like Joe does.
What the heck was that?
The secret to not getting the life choked out of you and walking away with your WWE Championship.
Wow, this is weird to say with all our history, but I don't know what I'd be doing right now without your help.
I guess I've been in a charitable mood lately.
Well, seriously, thanks for teaching me this. So, I guess we're good to go now?
Are you kidding? You haven't actually learned how to do the counter yet. On your back. We're going to start with a hip motion. I'll film on your phone so you can watch it back later. It locked again.
Trey and Peyton Royce forever!
Welcome to the special 1500th episode of SmackDown Live.
SmackDown Live has been the home of some amazing matches over the years, and tonight we continue that tradition with the long-awaited, much-anticipated battle between Trey and Samoa Joe.
This submission match for the WWE Championship is 7 years in the making, going back to Trey's debut when he shocked the WWE Universe and Samoa Joe. But tonight on SmackDown 1500, will Joe finally get his revenge?
Hey, what are you doing?
Studying my training footage. I think I actually have a chance tonight thanks to Brooklyn.
Yeah, about her.
I don't want to get into it again. I need to focus on my match.
I actually wanted to apologize. I might have been acting a little crazy lately.
A little?
Okay, slightly more than a little. I called the animal shelter that Brooklyn said she donated the money to, and turns out she wasn't lying.
See? I told you she's changed.
I think I just got caught up with us competing against each other in the mixed match challenge. And then I felt like I was losing my best friend to pretty much the worst person I could imagine. But maybe she's not the worst person after all. There's probably some terrible dictators or criminals on death row who are slightly worse.
That's very big of you to say that. So you should be cool with the fact that Brooklyn is going to be in my corner tonight then, right? I need her out there to coach me through the technique she taught me.
Totally cool with that. Not bothered at all. Besides, I have a big announcement to focus on.
About what?
Well, I decided to get back to concentrating on the list, and there's one thing on there I always wanted to accomplish, but it never seemed possible. Especially when Brooklyn was GM, no offense to your new BFF. But since this is a very special episode of SmackDown Live, it's the perfect time to make it happen. Good luck tonight. Seriously.
Hey, you finally said it.
And I meant it. Tonight, we celebrate 1,500 episodes of SmackDown Live. On nights like this, we look back at the amazing superstars who helped us get here. For me, personally, when I was an awkward teenager, the thought that I could someday do this seemed like a total long shot. But I was inspired by women like Beth Phoenix, the Bellas, Natalia, and Mickie James. Around that time, I created this list of goals I'd someday want to accomplish if I ever made it to WWE. Well, I think I've more than made it. But there's one thing on this list that all those women I mentioned accomplished. But I never have, because it's kind of impossible now. But if I've learned anything on my journey, it's that nothing is truly unattainable. The goal I'm referring to is winning the title that I grew up watching. The WWE Divas Championship. Like I said, kind of hard to do considering it hasn't existed in almost 15 years. But I'm proposing that WWE bring the Divas Championship back so I can honor the women who blazed a path for me and prove that no dream is ever hopeless or unimaginable.
Wait, what? And you want me to tell her right now?
I'm sorry, but I was just told to inform you that the Divas Championship is already spoken for.
Already spoken for? It hasn't existed in over a decade. How is that even possible?
They said you would hear more in the very near future. That's all I know.
What just happened?
I have no idea, but apparently someone in the back has other plans for the Divas Championship.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall and is for the WWE Championship.
As we get started here, let me remind everybody that the title is on the line here tonight.
Yeah, but that's just a mere formality. The way I see it, there's no way we crown a new champion tonight.
What about you, Byron? Do you think the champ has what it takes to walk out of here victorious tonight?
I really do, Michael. You have to remember, the champ doesn't have to win this match. He just can't lose it. I know it sounds like the same thing, but trust me, there's a big difference.
Oh, this is going to be good.
A true menace that has taken his reign of terror across the independent scene, through Mexico, through Japan, all over the globe, before coming to WWE and wreaking havoc on anyone and everyone.
And that havoc includes being a two-time NXT champion, even beating a legend like Rey Mysterio at WrestleMania in under a minute.
Introducing the challenger from Huntington Beach, California, weighing in at 282 pounds, Samoa Joe. And introducing the champion from St. Louis, Missouri, weighing in at 450 pounds, he is the WWE Champion, Z-Daddy.
The big gold belt up for grabs here tonight.
This match really happening tonight on SmackDown. 1,500 after nearly a decade of anticipation.
I don't think Trey was anticipating this as much as Samoa Joe, especially considering it's a submission match, which definitely favors Joe in his coquina clutch.
Let's not ignore the fact that Trey has Brooklyn Von Braun in his corner tonight, who could be the difference maker. Supposedly, the ex-MMA star has been working with Trey on his submission defense in preparation for this match.
I don't care who's in Trey's corner. There is no way he walks away with his WWE Championship. In fact, he'll be lucky to walk away at all. Joe with a snapmare.
Boom!
Ooh, impressive counter.
Gentlemen, we are bearing witness to the destroyer, Samoa Joe. He's put the entire WWE locker room on notice. Night after night, he'll beat down your heroes, render them unconscious, and when they wake up, he'll beat them down all over again. Brought in the hard way.
Ooh, what impact. Oh, debilitating elbow drop.
You described Samoa Joe's approach toward the WWE locker room, Corey. The Samoan submission specialist loves to leave a path to destruction, and he's not impressed by anyone in WWE.
It doesn't matter if you're an architect, a demon king, or a big dog. Samoa Joe wants to not only beat you, he wants to put you to sleep.
Right across the back of the neck.
He's just dominating at this point.
He's hitting on all cylinders right now.
It's champion's advantage. The title cannot change hands by countout or disqualification. You can lose the match, but still keep the championship.
Textbook vertical suplex. Bam.
Bringing it back between the ropes.
Great decision by Joe to capitalize.
Flying.
Well, that'll leave a mark.
Uh-oh. Huge running senton.
He got out of the way.
Uh-oh.
Look at this. Uh-oh is right. Four-way slam.
You guys are so cute. Textbook vertical suplex. Bam. Look at this raw power.
Sit out powerbomb.
Thus far, it's been a phenomenal championship match. Who will win? Who? And Samoa Joe locks in the Coquina clutch.
Trey's attempting a counter.
What's the matter? Not like you planned?
It looked like Trey attempted a counter to the Coquina clutch that Brooklyn must have taught him, but for whatever reason, it just didn't work.
It's over.
It may not be the Universal Championship that Trey defeated him for 7 years ago, but Samoa Joe gets the vindication he was looking for, as he is the new WWE Champion. What the hell?
No, no, no! This is awful!
Was this some kind of setup all along?
It had to be. Hindsight's 20/20, but Brooklyn Von Braun's change of heart was way too good to be true.
Saxton, you said Brooklyn was going to be the difference maker tonight, and you were right for once. If she and Samoa Joe have formed an alliance, and it would appear that they have, Red and Trey's lives are going to be changed forever.
I really don't need to hear "I told you so" right now.
All you're gonna hear from me is I hope you're okay.
I'll be alright. I just feel so stupid.
You're not stupid. You're trusting and a good person. That's what separates you from people like her.
Like, I appreciate it, but I still can't believe I let my guard down like that. You were right about everything.
We'll make her pay for this. I promise.
Welcome to a special live edition of Women Who Fight, covering all the fallout from SmackDown 1500. There is certainly a lot to cover.
Well, let's start with the fact that there's a new WWE champion thanks to the actions of Brooklyn Von Braun.
We can only speculate at this point, but it looked like Brooklyn and Samoa Joe might have been planning this for quite a while.
Well, I want to hear an explanation from Brooklyn, and knowing her, I'm sure we will. But it doesn't take a genius to connect the dots. This was a setup. And I think it started with Brooklyn teaming with Trey in the Mixed Match Challenge in order to earn his trust.
Yeah, looking back on it all now, her sudden change of heart was just way too good to be true.
Look, this might be controversial, but you have to applaud Brooklyn in some way.
What? Why?
Because she came into Red and Trey's domain and in just a short time managed to pull all the necessary strings to not only embarrass them, but also position herself as the most powerful woman in WWE. Like it or not, that's impressive.
Yeah, I'm not sure that's how I'd describe it. Deceitful? Maybe vile, perhaps, but impressive? No.
Look, you're obviously biased towards Red and Trey since they're longtime WWE superstars. And when an outsider from MMA comes in and dominates them at their own game, it doesn't sit well. I get it.
That's not what this is about. It's about right and wrong.
No.
And Brooklyn is clearly wrong here.
No, I don't think it's that simple.
Oh, whatever. I mean, lost in the shuffle of all of this is that Red announced she wanted to bring back the Divas Championship, but was informed that it was already spoken for.
Well,
and we'll speculate on what that could possibly mean when we come back.
Maybe we can have a bias-free discussion on that. Maybe.